Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're here live at the World Trade Center in Seattle. We're going to be talking about everything that is edibles today. It's day one at HempFest. I've got some amazing guests, starting with Dan Devlin of Zoots. Dan is a co-founder of Zoots, maker of a handcrafted small batch treat made with premium infused cannabis paired with unique blends tailored to your interests, desires, and intentions. Their zootologists carefully extract the essential oil of the cannabis plant in a contaminant-free environment using their proprietary cypress extraction method. The closed-loop process captures THC using organic cane alcohol and a cold fusion process, so you can be assured that each serving is consistent. And while everyone experiences cannabis individually, Zoots is about having a good time without feeling uncomfortably stoned, which is what sets Zoots apart as a purveyor of fine cannabis edibles. And Zoots was recently acquired by Washington-based Ionic Brands for a total of $11.6 million. Ionic, with a market cap of about $16.5 million, trades on the Canadian Securities Exchange as IONC and on the over-the-counter OTC markets as IONKF. Dan, thanks for being here.
You bet. Glad to be.
Remotely with us is Bob Eschino with Incredibles. Bob is co-founder and president of Medically Correct, whose trusted brand, Incredibles, is known for having the most consistent and award-winning infused products in the cannabis industry. Bob is responsible for the company's sales, marketing, and national expansion. As founding member of the Edibles Council through Cannabis Business Alliance, the Colorado Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, and the Colorado Cannabis Manufacturers Association, Bob has helped shape the next wave of cannabis rules and regulations for the cannabis industry federal level. Medically Correct prides itself on helping educate the public about responsible edible consumption and the emerging cannabis industry. Bob, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And also remotely is Patrick Ian Moir of Edible Magazine. Patrick's the editor-in-chief of Edibles Magazine and the chief operations officer of Edibles List Manufacturing and Distribution. He started out as head dispatch at Speedweed and went from there to be working as a product development and marketing specialist at W Vapes. The edibleslist.com is a source for information and reviews on medical marijuana edibles, dispensaries, doctors, and all else in the legal cannabis community. Edibles Magazine is a source for credible and relevant news with everything related to the cannabis industry. Their mission is to help medical marijuana patients locate smokeless medication alternatives. They want to help get the medicine in the hands of the patients they need it. They connect patients, vendors, and dispensaries, and patients can now save time and money locating their favorite edibles and new consumable products while being able to rate and review, adding their valued option to our online community. Staying tuned for their best of Edibles List awards, and stay tuned for the topicals, tinctures, and other awards that they have. So Patrick Ian Moir, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you so much.
So here's a follow-up question. I guess I'll start with Patrick in California. We've seen a lot of convenience. Zoots drops and Zoots mints are awesome convenience. I really like the Incredible bar. Reminds me of like a power bar, grab and go, very convenient, kind of like a pre-roll. But I'm wondering about more of like a healthy, active cannabis lifestyle. So that's why I kind of go to you, Patrick, first. You're in the sunny state of California, a lot of activity down there. And so I'm wondering, as we talk about some of the medicinal benefits of rehabilitating from injuries or recovering from an intensive interval training, HIIT exercise, CrossFit, whatever. What are some of the essential components in the cannabis-infused foods that provide an ability to live an active cannabis lifestyle?
Well, that goes into, excuse me, like the whole reason that Edibles List was originally created 10 years ago, before it was even a magazine, was because there was no way online to source dietary specific healthy edibles. And if you were looking for gluten-free or vegan or low sugar or no sugar, there was really no way to do that at the time because nothing was organized that way on the dispensary level. Weed Maps was still really doesn't, but it was new at the time. So that's kind of been something that we've been hyper aware of and working as much as we can to keep everybody aware of and promote as much as possible. I would say like the start of that is probably using edibles that have better and healthier ingredients in the first place, in an almost kind of preventative kind of a way. And we see more than we used to, but there is still an embarrassing lack of healthy edibles available for people. because it is kind of the cheapest and the easiest way to do it is to make gummies or to make something that's high in sugar, that's low cost, that people are gonna buy a lot of. And gummies are an interesting example because you don't see 30-year-old, 40-year-old adults eating an entire bag of gummies when they're not infused, unless maybe they're at a movie or something. Buying a bag of gummies isn't something that really started to seem habitual until you put THC in it. I mean, you see it a lot with CBD now, but it's still just such a cheap, easy way to infuse that kind of contributes to a lot of the popularity of it. As far as healthy edibles go, we are seeing a little bit more as far as puffed quinoa, people using brown rice syrup as a sweetener, foods that actually have healthy nutritional or even medicinal benefits in the first place are a great way to start. A lot of the nano-emulsified stuff that everybody was talking about earlier is also a popular thing with athletes because it does make it easier to infuse things like vitamin water. It does make it easier to infuse things that are specifically created to hydrate after a workout or to reoxygenate your cells after you've been running or doing CrossFit or making up for any kind of the water that you lose doing Bikram hot yoga. In LA, especially, I think not only in California, but probably in Southern California. And then there's a real high concentration of, healthy, active lifestyle people here in Los Angeles. And it is another one of the things that we get asked about the most. People want edibles, especially people who are new to cannabis, who don't have a background in smoking cannabis or cigarettes or anything else. Smoking is a very strange thing to get into for the first time when you're 45 years old, if you've never done it before. And vaping, even though it's getting very, very popular, that's another thing that you have to be really careful about because it's easy to cut vapes with something that's dangerous, but that still technically is going to pass the tests for pesticides, microbials, heavy metals, whatever else. It still might be something that you could get lipid pneumonia from if you inhale it because it was never meant to be in the lungs. Even if that in food, that's a healthy thing, like coconut oil. People are still cutting vapes with coconut oil, but coconut's very bad to breathe, as healthy as it might be for whatever else.
So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. I want to thank my guests. We have Bob Eschino with Incredibles. Also remotely is Patrick Ian Moir with Edibles List and Edibles Magazine. And also here is Dan Devlin with Zoots. Congratulations on the recent acquisition, by the way.
Thanks a lot for having us on and ability to talk about what we love, edibles.
So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.